Hello guys, in our last video we talked about AutoGen framework and how to implement AutoGen framework using Python language as well as .NET framework we've seen. So in the last video I just write simple example how two agent to talk to each other using this conversational agent. In this video I'm just going to focus on assistant agent. So what is assistant agent, when to use assistant agent, and we're going to write one simple example how to implement assistant agent using .NET. Assistant agent is one of the subclass of conversational agent which we seen in our last video. If you are new to in this video, please first watch the first video, what is AutoGen and what is conversational agent, how to implement the AutoGen framework I explained. After that you can move to this video to easy to understand the concept. So whenever we need any background agent task, we can use this assistant agent. So the main objective of assistant agent, you no need to need any human help. So we take one simple example. Use the assistant agent to verify the student answer. This scenario we are going to take now. So what we are going to do, we submit the question and the answer based on the student has been provided. These two I'm going to submit to the assistant agent. Assistant agent going to verify the answer using this LLM model. Once the answer is true or false, we get the result from the assistant agent. Let's move on to Visual Studio and we write simple example using this scenario. In Visual Studio, I have created another project called Assistant Agent Demo. So here I included the NuGet package AutoGen. So this package has to be installed to use this sample. The next step, we have to create the config object. Here I used Azure OpenAI config. If you are familiar with the OpenAI, you can use this OpenAI config. I used Azure OpenAI config. Here I passed the required argument endpoint, deployment name and subscription key, and the conversational agent, the config list assign it here. So here we are going to write our main logic. Create the assistant agent object. So assistant agent new of the first argument. I'm going to pass the agent name. Agent name is must. So my agent name like proxy teacher agent, because based on my sample this agent going to validate the answer. So I provide the agent name is a proxy teacher agent. The next argument we have to set the system message. The default message, you are a helpful AI assistant. For us, we are going to validate the student answer. So I set the system message, validate the answer to the questions. This is the second argument. Third argument, we have to pass the config information. So assistant agent should connect the LLM model. So that config information I define it here. So that information passed. So our assistant agent is ready. The next step, we have to create the question and answer. For that, I'm going to create the hard-coded message information. So prepare the input to the assistant agent, list a messages to first argument. We have to set the question. So the role is user, not assistant. Role is user. Question: what is the result of adding two numbers? 2 and B5 we can provide. The next we have to set the answer, new text message, role again user, answer 7. That's it. So our input is ready. The next step, we are going to pass this message to the assistant, where result equal to await assistant agent dot. This time we have to use a generate replay async function. We have to call this function. The first argument we have to pass the messages. So just pass the messages. The next argument is default argument. Leave it at the moment. So once we get the response, we have to print. So if result is text messages, so text message, just print the result. Console dot write line, here text message dot role, next text messages dot from, and finally we print the content. So the text message dot content. That's it. So super simple example. For the first step, we are creating the assistant agent and we set the system message. You have to validate the answer to the question, and the next step, we prepare the input to the assistant agent. So the messages here, so question and answer I added. So the next step, we have to pass these messages to this generate replay function. So once assistant agent validate the answer, it return the result. The result it's a iMessage interface. Again, the message is a text message only. So here we are checking the condition. If it is text message, print the information, the role of the assistant agent, and from which agent we get the response and what is the result. That's it. So we run this application and we see the result. Application started. So here we get the response. So the role assistant and the name of the agent, proxy teacher agent, which we define it here, the assistant agent, the name, and finally the answer is correct. Adding 2 and 5, result is 7. So in this step, there is no human input. It's automatically based on our input. It's automatically run in the background and generate the response for us.